Hey guys, despite many technical difficulties today, um, I got this look finished for you all. I hope you enjoy it. This is the picture that Hannah submitted for the picture that she wanted me to do. So you can judge how closely I got it. That's up to you, but I really enjoy doing this makeup look. I've been wanting to do something like this, so it was a good challenge, and I hope you all enjoy it despite the cutting in and out because my lights were breaking. But I appreciate you all watching. Thanks, guys. Hey, everyone. To begin this makeup look today, I'm going to go in with my Mineral Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer in the shade Organza, which is 2 shades lighter than my foundation shade, or the shade that would match my neck and chest. The reason I do this is to cancel out all the redness and really cover up those acne problems that I've been having because I pick my face, which is a terrible habit. So like I said, I'm just going to go in and touch up all those acne spots, and those will really cover up all the redness I've been having and just help with the texture on my face. I've already primed my skin and let that set for 10 to 15 minutes, so my makeup should go on seamlessly. I'm going to go ahead and let this sit on my face for a few minutes so it bonds with my skin. As you can see, the small amount that I already had put on my hand is almost too much. You barely need the size of a grain of rice to do your entire face in concealer. I'm just going to go ahead and take this stippling brush and blend out all this concealer after letting it sit on for a few seconds and just blending it in with my skin. As you can see here, my concealer is completely blended in with my skin, covering up all the redness and acne. I'm just going to go ahead and touch up this one last spot. Like I said, this is our Mineral Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer and is an extremely pigmented product, so you only need about the size of a grain of rice to do your entire face. Now I'm going to go in with our Signature Eye Primer, put a small amount, even smaller than the amount of concealer that you would need, and put a touch on each eye and beginning to blend that out. Now I'm going to go in with a thicker bristled brush, more small eyeshadow brush with thicker bristles, and I'm going to take the shade Elated out of my Addiction 1 palette and begin to cover up all my eye makeup primer. This is my base shade, and every good makeup look needs a base shade, just to ensure that the rest of the eyeshadow goes on flawlessly. After finishing with my base shade, I'm going to go in with 2 pieces of just any clear tape that has a decent adhesive. You don't want a tape that is chintzy and will fall off, but you also don't want a piece of tape that's similar to duct tape and going to hurt your skin when you peel it off. I am taking the piece of tape and putting it upwards with the natural angle of my eye. The reason I do this is so the crease and all the other makeup that I am going to be applying comes at a sharp angle and there's no fallout below that line. First, I am going to find my unique deluxe eyeshadow brush. This is the best brush that I've ever found. in terms of eyeshadow brushes, and I've used them all. This brush just has really great application, really keeps the product from falling out and looking messy, and it's also really good for blending. I'm going to use the shade Beautiful eyeshadow pigment, and I'm going to go in after I fill my pot with it, and I am just going to use this as another type of base shade just to begin the makeup building process. I want to focus these colors really on the crease area and the outer corner area, as this makeup look is really focused on the outer corner area of the eye. I don't want to be bringing it too far into my eye and making sure it stays out of that inner corner. Next, I'm going to go in with my Addiction 5 palette. And the shadow that I'm going to be using is very accurately named for this situation. It is the shade Suspicious. It is a very coppery brown pink, and we're going to use this as a transition shade in this makeup look. I'm going to be putting it in the corner and in the crease and a little more towards the middle of my eye than any of the other shadows. You won't really see this color as much as the other ones, but like I said, it's just a transition shade, so everything blends together well. After I finish blending in all those colors, I'm going to take my unique crease brush and I'm going to take my thumb and stamp it down a little. So instead of it being really coarse, it's going to be more fluffy brush, which is great for blending and a great trick that I learned at convention. I'm going to go in with my Addiction 1 palette and take the shade, I believe the shade is Chipper. And I'm just going to stay on that outer corner of my eye, blending up and down and into the crease a little, just really blending that out. After I finish blending that chipper shade in the outer corner, I'm going to go back in with my thicker, smaller bristled eyeshadow brush with that shade Elated from Addiction Palette 1 and just touch up around my eyebrow area. I want to make sure I didn't blend it too high. And I try and even them out here a little more just because one side was a little darker and I hadn't realized that at the time, but on camera you can definitely see that. Okay, now that I've finished blending, it's time for another neat trick that I learned at convention, that you can use eyeliners, mainly pencil, to create outer corner looks by creating a triangle. This is the shade Perfect, just our regular pencil eyeliner, and you'll see me using that tape as a guideline to just create a nice sharp look for the crease area, and you will see me bring it in into more of a triangle position, and then later on I will be blending that out. Now that I have blended out the eyeliner, I'm going to go in with the darker brown shade of Forthright, and I'm just going to be filling in that triangle area and blending it out in the crease, just the outer corner of the eye really smoothly. Really want to fill up that triangle so you don't necessarily see the eyeliner, but it just serves as a guideline for the sharp edge that we're trying to create. After I finish blending out the Forthright in the outer corner area, I'm going to go ahead and go in with that smaller, thick bristled eyeshadow brush with the shade Elated, and again, just touch up my eyebrow area to make sure that I did not blend it too high. I don't want brown eyeshadow clear up to my eyebrows, so that's what we're trying to avoid here. Here I'm going to go in with the eyeshadow pigment Sexy, and I'm going to use this as my brow highlight. Now that I've touched up the brow area with the Elated shadow, it is ready for a brow highlight. The shade Sexy is just a shimmery nude white color that will serve perfectly underneath the arch of my eyebrow, and later the inner corner of my eye. Now it is finally time to remove the tape strips, and you will see the sharp edge that they have created, and that is what we are going for. After I do this, I'm just going to go back in with my Addiction 1 palette, touch up all the colors that I have applied, and just make sure that they are even. There's a funny saying that your eyes are sisters, not twins, so each time, they may not look exactly the same, but you just need to try your best. Here I am going to go in with the shade Elated on my crease brush just to sharpen up that edge and blend it out a little bit so it looks real and not too stripy. So that's what I'm doing here. Here I'm going to go back in with my stippling brush and just brush away any fallout that there may have been throughout this process, just to make sure that there's nothing on my cheekbones. I would not suggest using your fingers because that's a good way to smear it around. A fluffy brush is your best bet. And here I'm just, blending out the color a little more, and then moving on to the next thing. Here I'm going to go back in with my concealer. You should have a little bit left over on the back of your hand as it doesn't require very much. So I'm just covering up the redness that the tape created, and that way I can continue on with makeup look with no redness. Here's one of my favorite parts of the video. As I began to go to do my mascara, something smelled kind of weird and I was worried that my lights were catching on fire. You'll see me peeking around. But everything was good. They were just acting up, so I had to take a break and fix them. And as you see, all was well, so I'm going back in with the Splurge Cream Shadow Elegant, which is just a really pretty champagne shimmery nude. One of my favorite cream shadows that we offer. Is really great for inner corner to middle of the eye application. Or if you don't want to do fancy makeup like this, you could just wear this on its own on the daily basis. After I finish blending my cream shadow, I'm going to go back in with the shade Forthright and just really deepen that eye a little bit, just to make sure I didn't take off any of the deeper product that I wanted in the corner of my eye from before when we had the tape on. So that's what I'm doing here. And then my lights started acting up again, so I am back. And then my laptop did not want to record anything that I had done after that point. So I'm just showing you, I had the shade Sweet on my cheeks. I used my Jaclyn Hill highlight palette for my highlight, which you will see the shade Champagne Pop on my cheeks. And then I used our Beachfront bronzer as a contour, and of course my 3D Fiber Lashes Plus as my mascara. It was all worth it in the end, and I definitely had a good laugh doing this.
When the sun had left and the winter came and the sky fall to only bring the rain, I sat in darkness.